In some AFC West news, it's worth noting the Chargers interviewed Mike Vrabel yesterday, which is the first known interview for the 48-year-old coach that was recently let go by the Titans. And while I think Vrabel is a great coach and would probably do a nice job there in LA, part of me wonders if the Chargers should be looking for an offensive-minded head coach instead to better take advantage of who they have at quarterback. They are also interviewing Cowboys DC Dan Quinn, I think today, and have already interviewed Bills DC Leslie Frazier, current Wolverines head coach Jim Harbaugh, with more on the way. But Harbaugh is the only one on this list so far, I believe, that's an offensive-minded guy, and I share this AFC West news about LA today mainly for this reason. While the Chargers may be better off hiring an offensive-minded guy, I'd love for them to hire another defensive-minded guy like Staley, because the NFL has clearly been shifting to more offensive-minded coaches and finding more success that way. The last 4 Super Bowl matchups have exclusively been led by offensive-minded coaches, and even in this year's playoffs, 9 of the 14 teams that made it had head coaches that are offensive-minded. On top of that, since February of 2020, 14 of the last 22 head coaching hires have had offensive backgrounds. So the evidence is clear. Teams have less chances of succeeding with a defensive-minded head coach these days, at least on average. And while any of these defensive guys will probably be a better fit for the team than Brandon Staley, I love the idea of the Chargers continuing to charger and wish them the least amount of success possible for years to come. Another team I hope never again finds real success, something they haven't really been able to accomplish in over 20 years as it is, would be the Las Vegas Raiders, who actually, ironically, just hired a defensive-minded coach today, although I think he was a pretty good fit for them, all things considered. The new guy is not so new, really. It's Antonio Pierce. He was the interim coach after Josh McDumdum was fired earlier this season, and this was announced today by Adam Schefter and everybody else, with a deal being finalized for Pierce to become the full-time head coach in Las Vegas. The players instantly rallied around him when he took over, and even big-name guys on the team like Max Crosby and Devontae Adams went to bat for him after the season was over to be the next head coach. Crosby even went as far as to say on his podcast that he would have to, quote, consider everything, which could even include requesting a trade if Pierce was not owner Mark Davis's choice for a head coach. Pierce is a former player himself, playing 9 years as a linebacker and making 1 Pro Bowl back in 2006 with the Giants, helping them win Super Bowl 42 over the Patriots. So it's no wonder why he's able to connect with the locker room and earn the trust of the players. And while he's only been coaching with the Raiders since 2022, it certainly helps that he led them to a 5-4 record down the stretch, beating the Chargers 63-21 and even beating the Chiefs in that absolutely miserable game on Christmas.